here, you know, some of you all may know me. I do Fox in the morning with American Idol. I play around the world as it relates to music. Have about 17 CDs out, and you know, one of the things though that I pride myself on is being a lawyer, and having studied law. You know, I consider myself a nerd, and I memorized the Constitution back in the day. And one of the things that was very important to me when I did that was a whole idea of we the people. So when we got into Black History Month, I believe in Black History Month wholeheartedly, but I also believe in Current History Month and all of us working together, and we the people, which is, you know, basically the first 3 words of the United States Constitution. I think I'm gonna go switch this to the Wired because, so every once in a while, this morning I spoke to a bunch of students in Loudoun County, and I don't wanna bore you to death, but we had a lot of fun, and unfortunately I don't have my keyboard with me or else I'd play a little bit, but I just wanted to talk. I see crazy stuff. Anybody hear any crazy stuff going on in the news right now? Just like what? The asteroid that hit Russia. Now that's very crazy. But I mean more personally with people and in the way that we're, you know, interacting with one another. Yes. Yeah, but how? Well, I mean, that's not interaction. I'm talking about how we interact with one another. Come on, we have some high school students here too, right? Uh-huh. Where are they? Uh-huh. What's going on in the world today? I can't hear you. You got to speak up. I can't hear you. You have to speak up.
People are getting shot.
Really? By what? Yeah, and a lot of young kids, you know, a lot of gun violence, the stuff that's going on in Chicago. And why do we think this happens? Why? You got to speak up. No, you're not. Nope, you're not getting out of that one, bro. Sometimes when people get mad, they get mad and then they just react, right? It's this thing we call impulse, right? So people are just going out there reacting to whatever comes their way, whatever way, and it's almost like there's no consequences at the end of the day. But at the end there is, because when you harm somebody, you can't take that back. Whether you harm them physically or whether you harm them mentally, you know, you can't take that back. And if somebody actually, unfortunately, passes, you can never get that back. So we have to think about some of the stuff that we do. Why would somebody just act on impulse and not think about the future? What are some reasons for that? Yes?
They don't think.
Really? I mean, it's pretty much that simple. They don't think about the future. They don't think about what about the future? They kind of don't think about, can anybody help her out? You're on the right track. Yes, what?
They don't think before they do.
They don't think about what though? That's what I mean with impulse. You're absolutely. They don't think about the consequences, right? And then not only the consequences, but they don't think about the positive sides either. Because most of the time, most of the people out here are not taught to do one very important thing. And it starts with I'm about to just give it away. It starts with a D. What's the most important thing for you to do every night before you go to bed and every day when you get up in the morning? Yes. Dream. What's a dream? Huh? You got to speak up. All of y'all, hey, here's my rule. You got to speak up to me. Hey, you know what? I'm going to turn this off. You're absolutely, that's cool. And I tell people all the time, I did a seminar yesterday, day before yesterday for Microsoft. And, you know, I told people one of the most important things that you can do in life is say, I don't know. So I commend you for saying, I don't know how to explain it. Can somebody else help him as it relates to dreaming? Yes.
A dream consists of a goal or...
So, you know, a dream consists of goals. What else? Yes. I can't hear you in your hand. I can't hear you. Vengeance? No, that's not the kind of dream I'm talking about. So what you want to do, right? But there's one word that starts with a D, another D. Desire, right? So another component of dreaming is making sure you have desire. Now here's one thing I always challenge anybody I'm talking to, keep your hand up, but that I challenge talking to, and it's not just a matter of what you think you are want to do, but that it's what you're going to do. You know, and I know you're at a point in your life where you might not know exactly, but I talked to some second graders today that were very adamant about being doctors and lawyers and astronauts, right? And at the same time, I think that you all are at an age where it's very important not to necessarily commit all the way, but to have a good idea of some of the things that you'd like to do in life. So let's go around and what would you like to do? Or what are you going to do as of right now when you get older? Fall asleep? No. Okay. Okay, you're gonna, really? Where are you gonna play? Uh-huh. Okay, but how are you gonna get to the NBA? What are you gonna practice? Really? So you're gonna get out on the court and you're just gonna walk around and say the way I play, the way I play? No, look up at me. I'm not jumping on you. We're all here together. Look up at me. What are we going to do? What are you going to practice? You're going to practice. So let's look at it like this. He's going to practice his shooting. What else are you going to practice? Dribbling, right? What else are you going to practice? Because you have to be in shape, right? So you're going to practice running. What else? Strength training. What else? Wow, man, you might actually make it to the NBA. Defense. What else? Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. That's probably the best I've heard from a sports person in a long time, because these are 5 components that if you do practice them, or when you do practice them, you will get better. Now, how often are you going to practice? A lot. I mean, there's a lot. I need specifics. I'm just asking. We're just talking. There's not a right or a wrong answer, but I'm going to help you kind of down the line. Yeah, 5 days a week. You're going to practice 5 days a week? Yes. Okay, so what are you going to do when you practice? Besides this, so how many shots are you going to take? A day? Okay, so 100 a day. Mr. Phil, how tall are you? I was about to say, how tall are you? 6'6". You play ball, right? Is 100 shots enough a day? Really? Didn't they? Okay, so let's say for golf, they said Tiger Woods hits 1,500 balls every day, right? So you have to be, hey, stop, okay? Be nice. Okay. So it's not just 100 shots, okay? You're going to have to do as many as it takes for you to be as successful as you need to be. Whether it's coach, because you want to play in the NBA. You don't want to just play and then, you know, leave, right? Because what the average length of time in the NBA, 4 years? You ever notice that? The people go in and you never hear about them again? Somebody had a great year and you never hear about them again? So you are going to have to do all that you can do to reach that level. So what you were talking about, you said goals, right? So your goal is the NBA, right? What we talked about is what you're going to have to do to get to the NBA. How much time do you have before you're in the NBA? So 7 years. So in 7 years, that's the goal. You set that up, right? And then you start working backwards. So you know that you're going to have to work on your shooting, dribbling, running, strength, defense, foul shooting, passing, mental capabilities. You know what I mean? Because I mean, games are won and lost not by 3-pointers per se. They're lost and won really on the foul line, right? Or on the defense, or the comprehensive structure here. What is this called that we're putting together? Say it again. I saw you. I can't, but you all got to speak up to me, please. It's a plan, right? So number one, the thing that we have to do out here is dream. Number two, you have to have a plan.
What do you mean?
What do I mean by plan?
Yeah, what did you just say how do we make a plan?
No. I said this is how you put it all together. So number one, you have your dream. Then you have to put together a plan. So you said, what do you mean? So what are you going to do? See what happens when you open your mouth? You get help. Come on. So what are you going to do? You all sit up, talk to me. You're going to be a basketball player too? In what league? Wait, hold up. So I just saw a sports commercial on ESPN that showed this little girl running on like Pop Warner football. Yeah, she was the quarterback. So you looked at me as if to say, you know, what do you think? I'm not going to play in the NBA. I just asked you a question. You limited yourself. Anybody disagree with me? Do you disagree with me? No? You don't disagree with me. Because why?
Because I feel like you could be able to do whatever that you put your mind to.
Uh-huh.
So you shouldn't limit yourself like, oh, I'm going to play in the women's league, I should play in the male's league too.
Exactly. So I was, it was funny, I was playing basketball earlier at this other school, much in like a gymnasium like this, and I was playing with my bass player, and he was talking about his his wife actually, and on their first date they went and played pickup basketball. And she played for Ohio State, and he didn't know, and he played in high school, so he's taller than her and everything else like that. So the next thing he knows, he's in the third game where she is beating him, like, you know, you play up to 12, you know, 11 or 12, where she's beating him 3 games in a row, like 11-2, 11-3, and he's like, oh my God. So you just never know. So it's up to you. And a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, there was no, WNBA feels about 10 years old? A little bit longer than that. But think about 15 years ago or more to think that it wasn't even possible because there was no such thing as a WNBA. So if your goal is to play in the WNBA, that is great. But if your goal is to play in the NBA, I tell you, I mean, we just got, you know, they just passed or made a executive order allowing for women in combat roles in military, right? Who would have thought 10 years ago that was going to happen? But people worked hard. Women went out, they worked hard, they showed what they could do, their abilities and everything like that. It's not a free ride. You still have to pass the test. You still have to be able to go out and out dribble the next guy or gal, but you can be in the NBA. That would be, I'll tell you like this, I have a 5-month-old daughter, right? And I would tell her, if she wants to be in the NBA, you better go out there and work. She needs to out-dribble him. She needs to be able to out-jump him. She needs to be able to out-defense him. She needs to be able to run faster or at least as fast as him. And I'd make sure that she had a plan to make that happen. But anything is possible. And your plan is the steps through which you're going to get to your dream. So the first thing that we talk about is dreaming. And I tell you what I do is this. I look at life in terms of D-P-E-L-L. Say DePel. All right? Say it one more time, a little louder. So basically what I'm teaching you all is what has allowed me to do the things that I do. Travel the world. Get basically whatever I want to get. Go wherever I want to go. Eat wherever I want to eat. Dress whatever way I want to dress. You might not like my style, that's all right. And actually my shirt is from Target because I figure why pay $59 for a shirt that I can pay $22 for. I'm just saying, that's why maybe I also have additional money, but it's okay, right? So those kind of things. This is what I use, and it's dream, plan, Execute, listen, and learn. Yes. D stands for dream, right? So we'll look at it again. We have dream. What's this? What's this? What's this? And what's this? Say it, Depel. One more time. Uh-huh. 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 All right, so we got dream and we got plan down. Now, what's the next step? E. Execute. What do I mean by execute? Go for it. Begin. Okay. Say, anybody else want to add some more? Yes.
Oh, to actually follow through with.
Now, remember, you said follow through with your goals. Your goals are what you're actually trying to. Hey, I'm not playing. Your goals are. Sorry, I'm acting like a dad. Right? Your goals are your dream. That's that high thing that you want. That's your desire. Those are the things you're going to do. That's the difference you're going to make. Your plan is your step-by-step methodology to get there. Then you have to execute. So you begin, you follow through. What else? Finishing. Okay, what else? Execution. What else? We have begin, follow through, finish. Anybody remember, you all might be too young for this, but Nike had a series of commercials. And it said just
Do it.
What about doing it? Doing the thing. You know, you all are in school right now, right? Have homework to do. The goal is hopefully at some point to get your diploma. You know what I mean? And I mean at the end of the 12th grade, 12 years after your first grade. I mean, this is what I'm hoping, you know. But it's about doing it. And you go to school every day. What are some of the reasons? Who here wants to be rich? I'm going to see, question for you. Why do you want to be rich? Oh, wait, first off, what does rich mean?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be in money. You can feel like you're rich.
Hold up, don't go too fast for me. Wisdom, family, and by the way, that's like a perfect answer. I really like that. Wisdom, family, what else? Wow. What else? What else? Yeah. I come back to you? I can't hear you. Of course I can, yes. Success. And what I'll say with success, we'll say personal achievement. Right? Cool. What else? I'm coming back to you. Now what? I can't hear you. No, we're talking now about the idea of what it means to be rich, right? So we're talking about the ways in which you can be rich. So you can be rich in wisdom, you can be rich in family, you can be rich in happiness, you can be rich as it relates to your personal achievement. What else? Talk to me. Yeah. No, I'm not skipping out on you. Think about it. What'd you say? That's great. That's a good answer right there. Relationships. What else? Rich in, yes.
Rich in food.
But yes, rich in food. We will call that yes. Yes. A lot of what? Does it? Rich? It does? I don't know. He said rich means you have a lot of the thing, a lot of things. I'm not going to say no. Anybody have another opinion?
Clothing.
Yes. Well, we're going to get back there, but he said rich. I need to stay focused on what we're talking about here. You said rich means having a lot of things, right? And you meant a lot of the individual things or a lot of things? A lot of all of these things. I'll accept that as an overall understanding of what rich is. But let me tell you this. We've talked about these things here. We haven't mentioned money yet. Right? Isn't that very important? The fact, huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you need money to go, like, you need,
Wait, hold on. Hold on. I want everybody to hear this. Go ahead.
you need money to, like, get into college.
Do you?
Unless you get a scholarship, but
I mean, but wait a minute though. Wait, hold up. Here's what you did. You said you need money. Here's your head, the angle, right? We call this the angle. You said we need money to go to college unless you get a scholarship. You got the angle on your head with an attitude like, well, unless you get a scholarship. Why not? Well, yeah, money helps you with these things, and I can go to college and pay for it if I have it. However, there are other opportunities such as the ability to get a scholarship. I happen to play basketball, and I'm looking to play for the WNBA. So the time that I put in on my rest of my plan transfers into my schooling as well, and I could possibly get not only a sports scholarship, but an academic scholarship. My head didn't twist to the side. Why did yours? No, why did yours? So you get it now? Are we gonna, so, what were you saying again about money? Well, you did it again. You like, because you needed to get, sit up straight and talk to me.
you need money to get in college.
The reality of the situation is this. You do need money to get into college, right? Or let's say it like this. College has a cost to it. But there are other ways to get into college without having the hardcore dollars sometimes. And there is the idea of academics. And there is the idea of sports. And there is the idea of financial aid and loans and things like that. But my thing is, if you take care of all of these non-money rich essentials, that everything else will come into play. Because rich is the main idea of rich. Rich is a state of mind. Poor is a state of mind. I know many people that I went to Germantown Law School with, which was one of the most expensive schools in the world, okay? And they came from the hood. I grew up in between the hood and Montgomery County, between my mom and dad's house. You know, my dad actually had to file for bankruptcy, and my mom had a stroke in my senior year of high school. So how did I get into school? I played my butt off. I practiced, but I did it because I loved it. It was something that I loved to do. Hopefully, like you playing basketball, you know, or anybody else in here who might have other passions and things that you really love to do. What is a passion, by the way? Huh? Or somebody else? Yes.
Something that you're really good at or you're talented at?
Is it what you're good at or what you love? I would say your passion is the thing you would do if you weren't getting paid to do it. So, for instance, why am I here? Yeah. Okay, that's here, that's on this level. That's on the 30,000, foot view. Why am I here? Yes.
It's your passion and you want to do it.
Because I want to do it, but what do I really, like, hey, I want to do it, but why?
Because Amina said something about you wanted to give back to the club.
Wait, say again. Say.
To give back to the
But see, again, you're here. I want you to get down to here. Like, what makes Marcus work every day? You know, because I tell you this, as an entrepreneur, there's a long time between when you put money into something and when you can actually get it back. It's the same thing with school. You go to school for 12 years, then you go to college, then you go to a graduate program, or you go to the NFL or whatever. But it's a long time of input before you can actually really get output sometimes, right? So why? And then I guarantee you that my time, I probably get anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a day to go speak places, and I'm not getting anything to be here. As a matter of fact, the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club, I actually give money, right? It's one of those kind of things. Why would I do that? Okay, that's a core of why. Yes. I have the passion to do it, but what is my passion? To give back what else? Say again? Working with Boys and Girls Club. What if I told you the main issue here is the idea that I just give a crap? But no, seriously, right? Wait, hold it. I'm here because I give a crap. I have a book I'm working on. The book, of course, you know, is going to be called DEPEL. Dream, Plan, Execute, Listen, and Learn. I get paid thousands of dollars a day or a speech to go in and talk about this whole concept of dream, plan, execute, listen, and learn. And then I come here to give it to you all for free, right? And it's because I just care. Because I believe that each one of you all, I mean, people tell you this all the time, you're our future, period, right? I have a 5-month-old, and eventually she's gonna be 15, and you all are gonna be 25 and 30. And you know what I want her to be able to say? What's your name? Aurelia. Miss Aurelia. And you say, oh, you're Marcus, you know, you're Mr. Marcus's kid, right? Yeah, okay, come on. What are you doing? Where's your dream? You know what I mean? Have you planned for it? What are you doing? Because remember, when I talked about the preamble, it's we the people, right? It's not I, it's not my, you know what I mean? It's we. And we're in this thing together, which is the beauty of this country. Really, I've traveled other places, and you want to be here. I don't care how bad you have it here. I don't care how bad you think you have it in the United States. You want to be in the United States of America. Because in other places, it's not bad. If there was a word called worser est, you know what I mean? I've seen worser est, right? I've seen some things that by visibly just looking at it will make you throw up. And guess what? I've been in the hood. I've experienced things like when I was growing up, you know, my friends being murdered, things of that nature. And you make it through it. But it's still better here than a lot of other places. You have the ability to think. You know, I had a friend that came here from Nigeria and said, well, why don't your kids go to the library? This was back when the library was, I think, more relevant than it is today, when you have things like Google, okay? But he's like, Marcus, our library was locked. Your library is open. How many times have you asked a question where a simple, you're on your smartphone texting, I know all y'all are, right? Most of y'all. And when you could have gone to Google real quick or Bing and been like, oh, gee, I get the answer to that. It's a desire thing. And for me, just to let you all know that you are in one of the greatest places on the planet and that you can do, because of it, anything that you want to do. Anything. You can be a lawyer. You can be a doctor. You can be a woman in the NBA. Yep. Probably could be a woman in the NFL. Now, again, you have to rise to the level of the standards in order to be able to do that. I mean, who would have thought, how about this? Who would have thought 6 years ago that we would have had an African-American president of the United States? I mean, I'll tell you this, the day that Obama won, President Obama, excuse me, won, my dad called me up and said, son, I think I have tears in my eyes because I never thought I would see this day. Somebody dreamt it, then they planned it out, and then they executed on it. They did it. This is something, look, if you take President Obama's heart out, or my heart out, right, and put it next to yours, it's the same. We may have different blood types, but our blood basically is made up of the same things. My brain matter is made up of the same as yours, the same as President Obama's. He may be a little taller than some of us here, but at the same way, he thinks the same way we do. Anything that brother can do, anything that I can do, anything that my mom can do, you all can do. And as a matter of fact, I challenge you to the fact that anything I can do, you can do better. Anything I can do, you can do better. You can be a better lawyer than me. You can be a better teacher than me. You can be a better mentor than me. You can be a better musician than me. Take what I did and make it better. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to get jealous. I'm going to say, just invite me to the concert. So I can tell everybody and buy tickets and be right there to you know, have my noisemaker to say, you know, Aurelia, I'm sorry. Aurelia went out and she did it. And I'm so proud of her because there's enough for each of us. I don't have to knock her to make myself look better. None of you all have to knock each other because you're in this together, all right? So we have dream, plan, execute. We understand that rich is a state of mind. Poor is a state of mind. Same thing. You can be poor in family, poor in relationships, poor in personal achievement, but it's all right here. This is the thing that unlocks everything for you all. It's right here, and you can train it to do some amazing things. Think about the fact that in 100 years, we went from flying like basically paper airplanes into having 200,000-pound airplanes flying through the air at 550 miles an hour. Or, you know, smaller airplanes flying through the air at thousands of miles an hour. Or rockets flying through at tens of thousands of miles an hour. In 110 years? If they can do it, you can do it better. But you have to have the dream here. You have to plan it. You have to execute it. So we've done all that. You know, we have our rocket ship built. We're in, you know, we got our diploma, everything else. What are the last two, the two L's that I have up there? Listen and learning. What do I mean by that? Yes.
That means that you have to listen what people have to say and what they think about what you did and learn from what they said.
I couldn't have said it much better myself. That's absolutely right. It's your review time, you know, because after a game, and I love sports analogies, whether you won or not, you can see somebody like Bill Belichick, the coach of the New England Patriots. You know, he'll tell you, you know, they have whooped somebody like 90-0. And he'll give you a straight face and like, yeah, you know, the defense, I think there's some holes we need to fill up there and everything like that. We're going to go back to the tape room and review it. Because the other thing is, when you look at listen and learn, the main component of that is a desire for excellence. Who here doesn't want to be excellent? Who here, wait, let me say it like this. Who here wants to be mediocre?
What is that?
I could think of a couple things to say, but in this particular context, what is mediocre? C? Yeah, C minus. Mediocre is C minus when you should have gotten an A. How about that? Why did I distinguish that? C minus when you should have gotten an A is being mediocre. Why? Okay, but wait, you could have done it better, which means that if you get a C minus and you did your best, can anybody ask anything more of you? No, it's not even about you already had the grade. It's the fact that you did your best. That's all, again, on the other side that I'm asking you to do. Through all of this, I'm not saying you have to be a straight A student. I certainly was not a straight A student. I'm gonna let you know that right now. There were points in time when I was in law school that I wondered whether or not, I had a professor tell me my first semester of law school, are you sure you wanna be a lawyer? Or do you wanna go back into music and just focus on that? Of course, to me, that was a challenge, and I think he knew my attitude, and that was a challenge for me to go out there and excel where I did very well, but I was never a straight A student. But I always did my best. And that's all I could ask of myself, and that's all I would ever ask of each and every one of you all. So don't let anybody, you know, when you say C minus, when you say C, when you say B, when you say D, if you did your best, I played, anybody here play sports like MSI, soccer, and things like that? Yeah. Have you ever had a horrible season? Well, see, I went to Blair High School. I played football, and generally we were the bottom of the mop for Montgomery County, right? But I got a lot out of that. We did our best, and we would come out there. We just didn't have the players. We didn't have the coach that Springbrook had, or that Watkins Mill had, or you know what I'm saying? But we went out there every time and we did our best. So we don't want to be mediocre. And the listening and learning component of it is just something that makes you better. You know, and this isn't just for your relationships, or this isn't just for your dreams of your career. Does this apply to like your personal relationships too? Like your parents, the relationship that you have with them? You know, think about it. You want to have a great relationship at home, right? You dream that. That's your dream. Your plan is, I know that my mom or dad likes me to clean the dishes and put them in the dishwasher, right? I do that. That's your execution. You actually do it. And then you sit back and you listen. And you'll hear your parents say, wow, so-and-so put the dishes in the dishwasher. I'm really like, wow. And you'll watch. You can make, you can have an effect on the way people view you, especially your parents who give you unconditional love or are supposed to, by doing the same thing, by setting your dream of how you're going to live in your household, you know, planning it out, executing it, and listen and see what they say. Your friends, how many people here have friends that, you know, you have a little tiff with right now? Anybody? Me, you know what I mean? But part of the tiff is the fact that, you know, if you listen to what they said, and you understand how it drove you one way or the other, or drove you apart, you know what to do to get it back together, right? If that's your goal. These are not just, and I don't do this just for the fact of, you know, I want you all to be superstars as it relates to sports or in your career. I do want that, and I know that you all can achieve that. But the main thing I want you to be is going back to that first page when you said success and happiness, you know? And really enjoying where you are and knowing that you're in control of it. Nobody can do this for you. This is your life. And as young as you are, I would tell you that this is not a dress rehearsal. This is real. You know, this is your life. This is what you make it. And I guarantee you, I can remember sitting on bleachers like this not too long ago saying, I have all the time in the world. And I guarantee you, everybody that's over 25 in this room will tell you how fast you get to whatever age they are right now. For me to be 40, all right, and to look at it and say like, oh my God, how fast time went. But here's the other thing. If you take advantage of all the opportunities that you have now, your resources now, you know, Mr. Phil, everybody at Boys and Girls Club, saying things like, I don't know, can you please help me, without feeling fear of retribution. You know, if somebody, hey, if you're at the Boys and Girls Club and you ask somebody for help and they don't give it to you or they talk back to you, you can give, you know, Marcus Johnson a call, the board of director, because I will be up here in 30 seconds or 30 minutes. It takes a little time to drive up here, but you get my point. I will support you. These are the things that we're supposed to do. So I'm gonna basically wrap up. Anybody have any questions for me? Yes?
Well, I have a question about the plans part.
Okay.
How would you make a plan if you wanted to be like a scientist or a cardiologist?
Okay, so how do you make a plan to be a scientist, cardiologist? Boom. So that's your dream, right? So next thing you're gonna have to do is some research. And you're gonna have to find out, number one, what type of scientist you'd like to be. because scientist is like, you're going to be a biochemist? Are you going to be a zoologist? Are you going to be, you're going to do research in like veterinary research? Are you going to do human research? Right? So then there, you're asking the right question, because once you go research, then you start finding out things that you didn't know. And you may like some of the other stuff that besides what you thought you were going in there looking for, or cardiologist. So I know to be a cardiologist, you have to go through high school. You have to do reasonably well, meaning well in college. You have to do well on the MCAT. You have to do well in your med school. Then once you get done with med school, you do this thing match. You match for residency at another hospital in your specialty field of cardiology. And cardiology, if I'm not mistaken, is an additional 4-year to 7-year specialty on top of that. Now, if that's your passion, it's a lot of school. So you end up being in school until you're 28, 29. My sister she just finished up as chief resident in internal medicine at Howard University Hospital. And now she's doing a pulmonary fellowship at Howard University Hospital. She is 30. And the fellowship is basically, you have a job, but you're still learning more of your specialty. So internal medicine was her specialty. You have a subspecialty on top of that, which is pulmonary medicine. So you can be 30. And she's married, she has a new kid, and she's making it work. It's not easy, right? But that's the kind of thing that you would have to do to be a cardiologist. So then, you know what you have to do. I have to do well in school now. Things like take science class, the after school program. Ask your parents or look at Montgomery County and see what's free for you in terms of summer programs in science, okay, and in medicine. And a lot of these places like Children's Hospital, especially up in this area in Shady Grove, you could go. And I guarantee you, how old are you? If you were to put a letter together and you found a doctor that you wanted to work with in this area, and you wrote that doctor a letter, within the law, that doctor would do anything in the world to let you sit and watch him or her as he or she does what she does, within reason as it relates to the law. For instance, I was 6 years old and I sent a letter in, because I loved airplanes. I sent a letter in to the Air Force. So one day I'm 6.5, and this guy from the Air Force comes to the house, and my mom is like, what did you do? I was like, I told you, Mom, I sent in the recruitment letter for the Air Force. No stamp necessary. I could read, very well. I knew, let me fill this out because I want to fly F-16. Well, the guy came in and said, I'll graduate in, what was it? It was 12, I'll be out of here, I'll graduate in 12 years, blah, blah, blah. So they thought it was so cute that the recruiter came to my house and brought me models of an F-16, pictures of the Thunderbirds, which are the Air Force, that's their specialty group, and was like, hey, look, if you really want to do this, maybe it's the Air Force Academy for you, and hit us up in 12 years. But he came to not recruit, but basically, hey, look, I think this is a great thing that your 6-year-old son did this. It's the same thing that you can do. My first job that I did for free when I was in law school, I dialed 411. I wanted to work at MCA Records. I got the number for information because we didn't have Google or smartphones then. I called the information number in Los Angeles. I got the number for MCA Records. I called an assistant or the receptionist and asked for the business and legal affairs department. I told them that I was a first-year Georgetown law student, that I'd be willing to work for free. And I had an interview and I got a job. I made money that summer by washing cars as a Georgetown law student, to the family's chagrin, but I made it happen. Got to see all the top contracts, Puffy, all the stuff that he did back in the day. I was monitoring those contracts because I took the initiative to get there. You as a 10-year-old, knock it out, have fun with it. Talk to doctors. Sit at the grown-ups table, not the kids' table. See what they're talking about. It'll make a difference. Any other questions? Does that help you? Okay, yes. I'm 41. Let me get that in there. 1 year wiser. Why are you smirking at me? What's up? I'm old? Is that what it is? Oh man. Hey, she was like, why are you smirking at me? Did I do something wrong? Okay, anybody else? Any other questions? And where are my high school students? I'm assuming like right in here. Cool.
What's
So what are my high school students doing? What grade?
11.
Okay. 10. Why you say it like that? And then she rolled her eyes at me. Wow. Okay, yourself? 10. 11. You all? Middle school? Okay. So, I'm sorry. What grade? Huh? 10? Cool. Yeah? You're in 9th? Okay, cool. So, you know, look, you go, I'm assuming, do you go to Montgomery County schools? Okay. That's Montgomery County? Yeah. Okay. There was no Clarksburg just a couple of years ago. You know, it's just Northwest. We didn't have Northwest or anything like that. Look, you go to one of the best school systems in the world. Use it every way you can. Guidance counselors, use them. They're not there just to talk about college or whatever. But again, when you're looking at the dream of what you all are going to do, and remember, not what you want to do, what you are going to do. 10th graders, 11th graders, you're pretty close to commitment time, you know? It's commitment time. Time to go and do what you're going to do. Because what, 11th graders when you commit in sports, right? 11th going to 12th, or is it? Yeah. So you would, and you're what, 3 months away from being a senior. What are you thinking about doing?
Well, at first I wanted to work with like computers and technology.
See, you missed the first. I tricked you already. Because I said, what are you thinking about doing? You were supposed to say, I'm going to first.
I changed my mind.
Okay.
I work with children now.
You, okay. So psychology or from a psychiatric perspective or pediatrics? Pediatrics? So you're going to med school?
Possibly.
Do you want to go to med school?
Possibly. I don't have like a real.
What grade are you in?
11.
Don't be embarrassed. I'm just messing with you, but you get my point. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. So if you are going to do pediatrics, go do it. I knew I was gonna do music. I knew I was gonna get a record company and start it up. I knew I was gonna get it funded, and all of it took time. I mean, but my first deal I did, I was 29. It was a $3 million deal, straight out my first deal out of law school. You know, knocked it out the box, rocked it. So it's all here. Any of my 10th graders ideas of what they're gonna do?
I'm thinking about like psychology.
Okay. Okay. Neurologist? Cool, that's great. A couple of friends that are neurologists. Yeah, actually, Ben Carson we play golf. He's the big guy at Johns Hopkins that, he saved quite a few people's lives, you know what I mean? But yeah, golfing partner of mine. Yourself? Okay. Cool. He said television or entertainment. Anybody else excited about what they're gonna do? Want to tell us? Yes. I can't hear you. Wanna or are you gonna be? You're gonna be a singer. Are you gonna invite me to your concert? When are you gonna do it? Huh? Oh, I get to come back on Friday. You gonna rock it for me? What's your name? Sarah. Do I need to have, I can't, I have to be an impartial judge. Yeah, so I can't be like, Sarah, 10, 15 and a half. Give you some extra points. Yes.
Person in charge of a pet supply bank that helps people who want to have a pet get the supplies they need.
Awesome. Have you thought about, how old are you?
I'm 12.
12. So when you're 13 or 14, you can get a work permit, I think, in Montgomery County. 16. It's 16? Ooh, I worked early. It's 16, are you sure? 15, 16? You know, I'm sure, you know what, but again, just like I was telling her to call a doctor, if you call one of the local shelters, I'm sure they'll let you come in. And like the shelter, there's one right not too far from here where I actually got one of my pets. And it's not, is it a shelter? What is it called? It's a, yeah, but say it again. It's like in between Gaithersburg and Rockville. Okay, well, I got a dog there, and they had a bunch of supplies. So you can learn there, learn how to interact with pets and identify, put pets together with owners. So you should check that out. Maybe Mr. Phil and the crew here can help you out with that. Amina, she can help you out. Were you just stretching? Go ahead. You all have an idea. She didn't get the message yet. You what? You what? Cool. Well, you let me know when you swear into the bar, and I will be right there by your side. Yes. Okay. She did. She said lawyer. She said lawyer and an athlete. Yo, no. She said athlete. Definitely. So, my former agent, by the way, what's your name? Quiet. What's your name? Soft spoken. I can't hear you. Ryan. So my former agent is like a track. He was a track star in undergrad and then went to law school. So he did the same thing. So he won many medals in long distance running and decided to go do his thing. So you could, with that background, you could be a sports agent, never know. Have your own sports agency firm representing, my NBA guy, I guess he left, and your NBA girl right here, getting them endorsement contracts, making 15, 20% on each one of them joints, right? But you got to do well in school now, right? You're supposed to say, no, I'm going to do my best. I got you. Yes. I'm not going to answer you if you don't speak up. You're going to be in the NBA. I love that. Yes. You're going to be in the NFL. I love it. You all are getting it. Smirky, what's up? You're going to be a pediatrician. I love it. Yes. I'm going to, I love that too. Let me know when you get the restaurant. Maybe I can help bankroll your restaurant. Hey, right? Yes.
I want to be a DJ player.
A DJ? Are you?
I'm going to be a DJ player.
Well, I can't wait. You can come to the restaurant that's connected to my club and we'll let you DJ. How about that? Yes. You? Uh-huh. You just, you caught yourself. Yes. Going to be, yes. Going to be I just saw Alvin Ailey at the Kennedy Center. The Alvin Ailey Dance Company at the Kennedy is great, wasn't it? Amazing. So hopefully we'll see you there. And yes, I can't hear you. Going to be, yes. I love it. And? You gonna make the real money, huh? Can you do it like can you do it like Messi? Can you do it like Messi? No, you can't. At least he's being truthful, you know what I mean? Yes. I can't hear you. Going to be a veterinarian? Awesome, man. Well, look, I'm going to leave you all, and I hope the main thing that you got, just give me a couple more minutes, just a couple more minutes. High school students, couple more minutes. Front row, NBA, just 2 more minutes, all right? Then we can box. We can figure out whether you got that in your skills. How about that? Just messing with you. Hey, look, I hope you got out of this that it's important to give back to the community, right? I don't know what you all thought when we came in here and we were talking about a Black History Month program, but this is something that I do every day and that I challenge each and every one of you all to do every day. And you can do this right here because the middle school kids look up to the high school kids and vice versa. And, in the elementary kids, the same thing. And you may not think they do, but somebody's looking at you and saying, wow, those 3 girls right there in high school, 4, they're beautiful. I want to be like them when I grow up. You don't know that. And they're not going to tell you, but they say it. I can guarantee you that right now. And the guys, they're looking at you and saying, hey, look, I want to be like, God, he's doing this. He plays this sport. He's da-da-da-da-da. He's smart. They're looking at you. I guarantee you. Because didn't you all do it? Yeah, I did it. right? So, wouldn't it have been great for the high school kid to come and be like, hey, look, and when they did, when you had that one experience, it felt good, right? Like, wow, so-and-so paid some attention to me. These are things that help society as a whole to be better. That's why I'm here. I'm here because I care. I'm here because I want each and every one of you all, when you leave here, to make sure that you do the same thing when my little girl, Chase, comes to you and says, I need some help. Or you see the tinkle in her eye, but she's going a little bit to the left of where she needs to go. And you can kind of slide her back into place, right? Because I can't be there all the time. I need you all's help. But I'll still be around to help you. All you got to do is pick up the phone. So we have DEPEL. What does it mean? D, P, E, L, L. All right, you all, thank you so very much. I look forward to seeing you soon. I'll see you on Friday, Sarah. Mackenzie, cool. Nice to meet you. Smirky. What's up, Smirky? What's up? How you doing, Smirky? What was your name? Brianna, my good old pediatrician. All right, look forward to it. Hey, you cool? Good stuff, man. All right. All right, buddy. Mr. DJ. I'll be there. You all are in the same thing, right?
Oh, no. No, we're
But not we're different groups.
It's like us icons.
Okay.
It's like a dance.
I'll be around most of the day for Icon, though.
Yay!
Yeah.
If you are just...
Hi, how are you?
He's going to be here for Icon.
So you're
I'm
gonna?
going to tell my mom about it.
Okay, please do. And tell her that he told you how to be the the cardiologist. I look forward to that too. Good stuff.
She wants to be a veterinarian.
Awesome. Take care of this. You can do whatever you want to do. That's the main thing. You got that out of all of this, right?